You may have seen those videos about the crimes that various movie villains have committed. Seeing these videos inspired me to think about what crimes have been committed by object show hosts. This is how I came up with this new series idea, if object show hosts were charged for their crimes. And today we're going to start with the announcer. One thing you should know is that we'll be going by US federal law, as well as by the state law of my home state, Virginia. Additionally, make sure to subscribe with notifications on. With that said, let's get started. In BFDI 1B, the contestants have to build a boat. And they do so without any sort of safety equipment. There's also just an open bed of nails just lying there on the ground, begging for someone to impale themselves. In BFDI 2's Cake It Steak, announcer flings the cake at the contestants in a way that very well could cause physical harm. This is assault, and there are 7 charges of it. Next up is the 45 counts of forced imprisonment that result from the announcer putting all of the contestants into the TLC or the LOL. I'm going to be counting these all at the same time to avoid repetition too much. During the contest, we see 4 counts of indirect assault, resulting from contestants being hit by punching gloves that come out of the wall. The seats on the ski lift thing also are not fireproof, and the narrow paths Needle runs down do not have guardrails, which are clear instances of OSHA violations. The announcer has also flung many people over the years, and once again I'm going to be counting these infringements all at the same time. After he flings Spongy, Spongy pops Bubble, which kills her. This is indirect battery and second-degree murder. In BFDI 5, the announcer launches one of the slices of cake into the window of a nearby house, which breaks it. An individual household window costs $375 to $800 on average. Under Virginia law, which states that property damage worth under $1,000 is a Class 1 misdemeanor, this means he gets 1 year in prison and a $2,500 fine. In BFDI 8, he kills Bubble after falling from the sky. I think the announcer did plan to kill her, but since it wasn't premeditated, it's a second-degree murder just like last time. In BFDI 10, one of the contests is a crying contest. The announcer was surely fully aware of the fact that if Fiery touched water, which tears are, he could be hurt or killed. Therefore, he gets a punishment for this based on Virginia state law. In this instance, where the announcer drops water balloons onto the contestants, he likely knew full well that the balloon would pop Bubble, and that Eraser and Fiery would be hurt by them as well. He should consider himself lucky that Fiery didn't also die. Also note that while the punishment for battery and assault are the same, they are technically separate crimes. In BFDI 13, he flings himself into Snowball. In BFDI 15, he kills Ice Cube by throwing a nickel at her. And in BFDI 17, he hits Spongy with a knife, which Spongy clearly expresses pain towards. In BFDI 18, the objects that are in the locker of losers get crushed by the sun. The announcer could and should have moved the LOL to a different location where it would not have been crushed. However, this also isn't mass murder, since he didn't directly kill them. In BFDI 19, the announcer cries acid onto Rocky, Ice Cube, and David, which kills the 3 of them. That mountain structure thing is also clearly a safety violation. There's no way that it's not. In BFDI 20, the announcer commits 3 counts of negligent homicide from not stopping Ice Cube, Rocky, or Spongy from being killed.
super fun time. Forgot to do the voiceover for this part, so I, remote, will be filling in here. Anyways, in BFDI 23, the announcer pops bubble yet again. After that, he cuts up the cheese orb, much to the dismay of the contestants.
BFDI 24 sees his largest crime yet. 119 counts of negligent homicide. As the bugs were made by him, and he had a button and could have stopped the murder at any time. The announcer, during the chase scene, pops bubble once again, this time on purpose, but it's still only a second-degree charge. And now we get to our first-degree murders. He kills Fiery, Leafy, and Bubble in the Stinger, and it's pretty clear that he planned to do this. So, that means he gets his first 3 death penalties. Now we have to skip all the way to BFB for the rest of his crimes. In BFB 28, he commits a second-degree murder by using a laser button to kill Taco. The announcer also plots to steal the BFB and the show. Technically, the definition of a conspiracy in this sense requires there to be 2 or more conspirators, but I don't know what other crime this would be, although I do have a strong feeling that this is, in fact, very illegal. Now, when we put all of these crimes together, the announcer's sentence would amount to, from most to least severe, 3 death penalties, 11 life sentences, just over 700 years in prison, and a fine of over $400,000. That sounds like a lot, but consider that Announcery has an awful lot of blood on his 7-fingered hand. That's all for this video. Part 2 will be all about 4, so make sure to subscribe for that. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.